and welcome to this week's issue of Pop Culture News and Reviews. This is issue number 91. We don't have a title for it yet because we work that out as we go on. My name's Anthony. I'm joined by Sebi.
Hello.
And we are here to give you all of this week's news in pop culture. We also do reviews, which you can catch on, other podcasts that isn't this exact one, but it's in our channel in there. We title them Water Coolers if it's like a TV show, and One Shots if it's a film or,
a
just a
TV
one-off
show
thing.
that we do in just one hit.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I do want to get a bit of housekeeping out the way, and that is we've got Hawkeye Water Coolers coming up this week.
Yes, we
So
do.
Hawkeye obviously dropped. We've got Lost in Space dropping this week too, but what we're going to do
Man, I forgot all about
is
that.
kind of
Goddamn.
stretch it out. So don't feel like you have to smash it all in the weekend because we're only going to review episode 1 to 3. So we're going to do 1 to 3, then we're going to do 4 to 6, and then, 7 till if it's 9 or 10. I don't know how many episodes are in this.
Neither do I.
They're usually 10 episode
Yeah,
seasons though,
every
Lost in
time,
Space.
So I would
So-
think they wouldn't change it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't fix
Unless it's hard though because it's a season finale. I mean, series finale. They might have added one in or,
it
whatever they did.
depends, though. If people kick up a stink, it might not be.
Yeah, they might end it on a cliffhanger to try and get. Anyway, that's Lost in Space coming. Other things coming are we do talk about Camp Cretaceous on here because I've got kids. That season 4 is coming in Friday as well. We're not going to be talking about that probably. I mean, I might, but don't worry about getting up to date for water coolers on that one. But yeah, Lost in Space is coming for next week. So
Lost in Space drops Wednesday. Same as Hawkeye.
yeah,
Wednesday is busy days. Busy days on a Wednesday.
It's just stay away from your phone on Thursday is all I'm
Yeah.
going to say. Even this week, I didn't get to start watching Hawkeye till, it was about just after 10, so I didn't finish till midnight. And I was like, I have to though, because I don't.
Thursday.
I was like, I didn't want to see anything, man. I didn't want to see a thing because Hawkeye for me is like this is the show I've been waiting for.
There was the funny thing. There was no spoilers during, I watched it Thursday. I had nothing spoiled for me that day.
Look,
Probably
we
'cause I
won't get
didn't
into
have
it now
enough
because
time
we're going to
look
be
at my phone
talking.
through the whole day.
We're going to be talking water coolers, obviously, but we'll talk about it then. Actually, we'll do that. We jump into the news because that's what this particular podcast does: is the news of the week. And as far as news goes, not
been
much out
slow.
there this week.
Slow week. Slow week, mate.
It's a bit slow. We do start every one of these episodes with something else though, which is Sevi, man. What have you been watching?
Mate, I watched Hawkeye.
We'll talk about that in the
That
water
was it.
cooler. Look, speaking of new things dropping, I've been watching Bluey because the new Bluey, season 3 of Bluey, is dropping every day now. So they drop one episode a day. So you wake up in the morning, new episodes in iView, kids watch it. It's a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, we won't get into it too much, but well done to the Bluey team because it's just the same level as the rest of their stuff. And Bluey is
It's a great
the
show.
top kids show. It's
just
the top kids show.
It's getting the Australian accent out to the world.
It is.
And it's great.
And it's getting people coming to it. Like we just said, this latest episode they had this yoga instructor in it for like 3 seconds. And it was Eva Mendes doing the voice. Like Eva Mendes.
That's amazing.
Insane. Robert Irwin did a voice earlier as well, but he actually did a lot of stuff with it. It was a lot of
That's
fun.
pretty cool.
Who else has been? I think Hamish Blake.
Yeah,
done a voice as well.
He's done it, yep.
And Zoe, his wife, did on the same
Well, aren't
episode.
they creators of the show?
No, they're just big fans.
Ah,
Yeah. Such big fans. It seems like they're creators, but no, they're just big fans. But no, Bluey, guys, get onto it. It's like, if you're not onto it by now,
you should
you
be.
just don't have kids, probably.
Especially
is
if
what
you've
the
got
go
kids,
is
you should
there.
be onto it.
Well, did you hear about Al Jean from The Simpsons?
No.
So Al Jean is the showrunner for The Simpsons.
Yeah.
They included Bluey in their one of their little promo episodes for Disney Plus because they were writing a list of names. Like they did a thing for Disney Plus Day of like a nightclub where all the Disney Plus characters are hanging out in like the Simpsons world. And they're waiting to get in and the bouncer looks at the guest list and Bluey's name's on the guest list.
Oh, wow.
And
Well
the
done.
Bluey writers also saw that and were like, oh my God, like this is like every Bluey writer grew up watching The Simpsons and still quotes it and everything. So they're like, that's incredible. We got mentioned on The
I
Simpsons.
think everyone grew up watching The Simpsons and quotes it.
Yeah, but there's some kids that didn't.
Yeah, I had a
Like,
kid that I was friends with when I was younger. He
everyone's
wasn't
got
allowed
that
to watch
weird
it.
kid who like wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons. You're like, you poor. Like, I had mates who weren't allowed to watch South Park, and I kind of understood that. I was like, that's probably good parenting on those people's behalf.
I never had any. I don't think I had any restrictions on watching anything. 'Cause I don't know. Guess I was just taught young that there's things you can and can't do. If you're brought up right, it shouldn't matter what you watch.
Yeah,
It doesn't change anything.
I don't think my kid has any restrictions. He probably shouldn't be watching the stuff he watches, but he does. He's all right.
I mean, I grew up watching Schwarzenegger movies. I mean, they're probably not made for children, but hey,
Yeah. Well, I was actually at a kids
Predator's
party
amazing.
with my son, and they were talking about the shows that they watch and stuff. And I'm like, oh, he's really into Transformers, and they're like, oh, the cartoon. I'm like, oh no, he watches the movies, like the real movies. He's there and watches them. I'm like, yeah. It's like, oh, and then they're talking about how they weren't able to watch certain Marvel movies yet, and I was like, I just watch them with my son, and he's like, oh, he sits down and watches them. I'm like, yeah, man, like,
why wouldn't he?
Guardians
Especially
is
Marvel
his
movies. They're
favourite.
full of colour and brightness and
Yeah, and jokes and stuff. Like, it's
campy
fun.
jokes. It's great.
Lots of slapstick. It's good.
That's exactly it.
But then we got into Jurassic Park, and I was like, actually, I probably have gone too far on that one. Like,
No,
watching
'cause
a
you're
dinosaur.
teaching. I don't know. It's a weird subject that because I don't know. I just feel like people are getting too soft these days.
See, my kid's doing the thing I did when I was little, which is like, I watched horror movies, but like, I remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street, and I wasn't scared because I thought you had to like the person I was going for was Freddy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it wasn't like, yeah, get away from Freddy. It was like, oh man, Freddy's cool. You probably would have seen the same Predator.
Yeah.
It wasn't, oh man, hide from the Predator. You're like, oh man, Predator's going to get these guys. Like,
I like Predator and I like Arnold, so it was just a good punch on at the end.
yeah. Whereas my kid's like, yeah, dinosaur's going to eat that guy. Instead of like, oh no, the dinosaur is scary. You know? Which is probably
he knows
poor
that, like-
parenting now that I say it out loud.
But no, it's not because your kid knows that they're not real. He knows it's not real. As much as he would like
Has-
it to be real, he knows
yeah,
it's not.
he's asked us if we can go to Jurassic World one day. I'm like, man, you've seen all the problems there. We're not going there. As opposed
Even
to
if they ever create it
telling him it
real,
doesn't
you don't go.
exist. We're
You
not
just don't go, like, ever. Like,
Have you seen
I
that
don't
Twitter account? It's like Jurassic Park tweets, I think it's called. And they just tweet every day like they're working at Jurassic Park. And it's just hilarious. You'll just get this random tweet every couple of days being like, yep, raptors are out again. So stay away from this section.
it's just like people should learn from that. Don't mess with the innards of a Tyrannosaurus Rex because it's not going to go well if you create one. Just like people need to learn from Terminator and not create Skynet. It's not going to work.
It's coming. It's happening. Nobody learns.
We just destroy ourselves. It's inevitable.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't know how we got onto that, but we did. I'm going, oh, okay.
Welcome to
Simpsons.
philosophy with PCNR.
Simpsons. The showrunner for The Simpsons. So the showrunner from Bluey and all were like, how did this happen? So they did a deep dive on how Bluey actually got mentioned on The Simpsons. And it was that because The Simpsons is on Disney Plus as well now. So is Bluey in America is on Disney Plus. The Simpsons were like, what's this show that's got higher streaming numbers than us right now? And obviously it's Bluey. So the showrunner, Al Jean, who doesn't have kids, was like, I'm going to have to check out what this show's doing. Sat down and watched all of it.
That's amazing.
Like just on his own, without kids. And was like, this show's incredible. Like he's like, I couldn't stop watching. Like, this is amazing. Which obviously the Bluey showrunners and stuff heard and were like, oh my God, that's incredible. So well done to the Bluey showrunners. What I want to say, keep doing what you're doing. Another guest star they had, which isn't a massive guest star, but if people watch the episode lately, which is Promises, it's called Promises. There's a librarian and a lady in the library that each have like a line each. They're actually the creators of a podcast for Bluey.
Oh,
So it's these two
wow.
mums. Yeah, these two mums started a podcast back when Bluey started called, I believe it's Got to Be Done.
Well, I feel like I feel like we've spoken about Bluey enough. Cast us.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
We're
But
Australian.
no, they're absolutely dedicated to this show. Like they've done so much work just as an unofficial Bluey podcast that the creators have said, "Yep, come and lend your voice in." So
Nice.
that's going full circle for them. Can you imagine? You've gone from being a fan to actually being in it,
That's awesome.
to then talking about yourself in it. You know, it's like a meta thing.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's
congratulations
100%
to
meta.
them. Let's jump into some TV news, man. Some TV, some pop culture news. Let's actually do what our show says we do. And
Do we have to?
yeah, sure. I mean, we're
Yeah,
talking
fair.
about Disney Plus anyway. You hear about their plan for 2022?
What is it,
They are
33
planning to sink $33 billion.
smackaroonies?
Billion.
Disney dollary dues.
Like, that is...
You know what?
Oh, man.
In terms these days, though, it's not much.
Oh, dude, still.
Like that's
Like-
a few big Marvel movies, and that's it. And TV shows. Like, come on, 33 bill gets you nothing these days. It gets you
inflation.
Avengers 4 and maybe another TV show, and that's about it.
But it's streaming. They're saying streaming is what they're dedicating this to. You know? So it's shows.
Well, you look at it. You've got what do you got? What do we got coming out? We've got all this is Star Wars. So you got Boba. You've got Mando 3, season 3. Ahsoka. What else is there?
Just
Miss
I always
Marvel,
I always struggle to get my head around billion. opposed to
She-Hulk.
million, you know? And something I saw once that just stuck in my mind is that 1 million seconds is 11.5 days.
Yeah, so do a
Right.
million, a million.
No. 1 billion seconds is 31.5 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's the gap between the two. Like,
Give me $1 billion right now.
oh, man. But that's the thing as well, isn't it? Like you said, 1 million isn't what it used to be. Like, you're a millionaire now, and congratulations, you might own your house.
I mean, and that's right. Like, it's half of YouTube are millionaires.
Mm.
It's like it's literally nothing these days.
But anyway, 33 billion is still a lot. So 33 billion on streaming. Thanks, Disney. We'll take that. Obviously, it means your streaming service is doing very well, as it should. Hawkeye debuted on there, and I'm a fan. Let's get into it. Ridley Scott, however,
He's yelling at
is
clouds again, mate.
Yelling at clouds again. Old man yells at clouds again.
Why? Why is he
This time
yelling at
he's-
clouds?
He's blaming millennials on their phones for his last movie failing at the box office. So The Last Duel hasn't gone great at the box office, and Ridley Scott is angry at the world.
You know what's funny? Is this movie was never going to do well. It didn't look good. The trailer looked horrible. It was like it's just a movie that I don't think anyone really wanted.
Yeah, but you know,
Matt
Ridley
Damon
Scott believes
fighting
that's
Ben Affleck
because-
as Knights, and it's like what? What? Yeah, I understand it was a true story, but what?
Look, Ridley Scott believes that it's because it's not a superhero movie and everyone just wants superhero movies and those people are dumb. No, just make a good movie and people will go see it, man. That's all it is. Make a good movie and people will see it.
Look at Dune. That's not a superhero movie.
I mean, sci-fi.
Or another one of Dennis's movies was you got the two Sicarios that came out. Well, the first one was his. The second one I don't think was a Villeneuve one, but the first Sicario that did amazing, and is an
Love and
amazing
Monsters.
movie.
Love and Monsters did well.
Love and sort of superhero ish, I would
You think
say.
it's just monsters.
Yeah, but I'd put that into that category.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to think of
There's
just
a lot of
movies
out
that are
there.
just plain movies that have.
I mean, look, I'm going to just take a step back and say that Ted Lasso isn't a superhero anything.
He's a superhero, 100%. That man is a legend. How dare you? Get out. Show's over. We're done.
Comment. I named my dog after him. Calm down. But that show it's not a superhero genre, so it's still outpacing everything else in the world. You know, like just make something good and people see it. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
Don't blame the world when it doesn't. Speaking of things that aren't going to happen, though, Rangers of the New Republic was a show that we were kind of excited for. We kind of knew this wasn't happening, but it's official now. It's been scrapped. So this was the one that Cara Dune was going to headline.
Yeah, as soon as she got let go, that show was gone.
Yeah.
I was hoping Bill Burr might have still... But then you're trying to rely a whole show on one person like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, not going to happen.
Which sucks.
Did seem like a cool idea, though, because it was her kind of left as a sheriff and stuff that she had to go through.
I would have loved to have watched her beat the crap out of more people.
They should have just switched her up with Timothy Olyphant's character.
Mate, that would have been amazing.
Down, you know?
Just Cobb Vanth the hell out of it.
Yeah.
It's basically
pretty
just justified
justified
in
in
space.
Justified in space.
Oh, we need that.
Yeah.
100%. And bring Bill Burr back as well. Yeah, he can be the comedy sidekick.
100%. That's a show. Disney, don't scrap it. Look,
contact us. We will write it.
You've got $33 billion to play with. Just give us a bill.
Give us writers and...
Just give us one bill. That's all we're asking for.
One bill will deliver nothing.
They're like, I'm using like cardboard props.
Oh, man.
Look, we got carried away.
That is a great idea for a show, though. Like, I would want that because he's already looking after that town. So, it's basically Deadwood is what it'll be.
So the way you'd start is that Cara Dune was doing what she was doing when we left off, but has gone missing.
She got killed.
Something's happened. They're not. No, you don't say killed because that's too definitive.
Murdered.
She can end up. It can turn out that she's been killed, but you start by saying she's missing. So then you would have the Mando bring in Cobb Vanth to be like, these people need you here. Do you mind? And then it will be him like, so you'll get your like Mando cameo at the start. And then it will be Cobb Vanth's show of trying to find out what happened to Cara Dune, unearth whatever's going on under there, and then just keep the peace.
Yeah.
That's your show.
Quick drawing on people. You know? Just bam.
Bam. And what's that? You need some help? Here's Bill Burr.
Just yelling and screaming at people.
Yeah, I mean, because you need Bill Burr. I mean, it'd be Bill Burr would have contacts to whatever organization took out Dune.
That's right. Or other organisations that can help with that.
You know, because it's not Cobb Vanth's area. He needs a local to get him knowledge of everything.
Guys, we've written it. Disney flies out. Lucasfilms, hurry up. Come on, sort it out.
I don't know why you scrapped it when you had all of these parts to write.
Well, no, you've got to scrap that. You scrap that, but you start with something else.
I'd still call it Rangers of the New Republic.
But he's not a ranger. Cobb Vanth isn't a ranger.
But he will be. We'll take over.
New Rangers of the New Republic.
It'll be the Ranger of the New Republic.
The Lone Ranger of the New Republic.
It's done. Lone Ranger of the New Republic. Oh, man. That's a great title. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us today on on us plotting the next Star Wars show, apparently.
New Republic's Marshal.
Yeah. We'll cut this little pitch up and send it to Disney.
Yeah, hurry up.
Might send it to Jon Favreau, who is out there right now promoting the Book of Boba Fett.
He listens to the show.
Of course he does. So Book of Boba Fett is going to premiere on Disney Plus December 29th, by the way. So still got that coming. Remember that that'll be weekly.
December 29th?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I've got 3 weeks off over Christmas, so we are.
But this is weekly.
Yeah, but I got 3 weeks.
Weekly.
I'm fine. I'm happy.
Yeah, and I think that's the week that Hawkeye finishes. I'm pretty sure. Or the week before. It'd be the week before. No. Yeah, it's the week after Hawkeye finishes. So Hawkeye finished, and the next week this starts.
That's pretty smart. That's well done, Disney.
And I think they're both on Wednesday still too.
They have to be. Wednesday's Disney Day. Disney Wednesday. No matter what happens, if you got any plans, cancel them Wednesday. It's Disney Day.
Yeah, just forever.
Just forever. Exactly, forever.
So Favreau's had an interview here promoting the Book of Boba Fett.
What day does Spider-Man drop?
17th, I think.
Which is Wednesday.
Oh, that's movies. Movies drop Thursdays, remember? The
17th is a Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, but
so
they've always done that.
Oh, that's amazing. They're sticking with it.
Although the trailer said Christmas Day.
Well, Venom's finally out for us now, 10 years later.
Yeah, awesome.
Have you hurried up and watched it? Are you in a rush to see it because it's been delayed 2 months?
It's not just that it was delayed 2 months. It's that I've had 2 months of people just being like, meh. And usually I don't let it affect me, but for 2 months, and I was already angry with it.
You know, the funny thing is, though, with it, though, for me, it's... And you might disagree. This movie should have been a hard R. I don't care what anyone says. You've got Carnage. It should have been R-rated.
It wouldn't have made a difference.
None of this shadow in the background ripping people apart. You should have seen... Yes, the first Venom, okay, you've got the shadow, him pulling people apart or whatever in that, and eating people you don't see. You get the gist. That's okay. That's Venom. He's an anti-hero. Carnage, you need to set an example, and you need to see what he does.
Look,
that's where your R comes in.
Because I haven't actually seen what they've done with it and how they did it.
Well, I mean, you're not going to see Carnage. How is Carnage in the comics? He's Carnage. He lives up to the name.
Yeah, but it's not so much like he hasn't, because he was always in Spider-Man comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man isn't a hard R comic.
No, but I mean, yeah.
And there was two not one shots.
I feel like if you're gonna R-rate Deadpool, you need Carnage should be R-rated as well.
See, that's why I'm fine with it. Like, because I've seen Carnage in a lot of Spider-Man comics, and he works without having to like see him tearing people apart or whatever. See, I don't care about gore, to be honest. But
live up to
there
the
was
name.
2 limited series. One was called Maximum Carnage. The other was called Minimum Carnage. Maximum Carnage was amazing. And what it was that Carnage had taken over a town, kind of like Wanda, actually. WandaVision, now that I think about it.
What is it? Why are they just stealing people's towns?
But he had taken over a town and was just killing like people. It was brutal, and the Avengers have gone in there to try to sort it out. I think this was how it ended, with Hyperion ripping Carnage apart in space.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was the end of Maximum Carnage. But those ones I'd look at and be like, all right, if you're going to redo that comic, it has to be R. But if he's just in someone else's movie, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him in that that aspect of him in Spider-Man comics that I've been reading that I really care if he is or not.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, in other news,
Carnage I'm watching, it's him.
In other news, which fits in perfectly, we've got the Grand Tour, who have released their new banner for their new show debuting 17th of December on the Wednesday for Amazon. And Carnage Trios is what it's called.
So is that rated R?
It's Jeremy Clarkson. I think everything's rated R when he's involved in it. Because he's amazing. But I'm looking forward. I mean, he hasn't done, since they've gone to Amazon, he hasn't done a thing wrong. Well, he might have said things wrong,
that's
but
a situation, I reckon, where it seemed like, oh man, things are going badly at the start. Like to end up in that situation. But once Amazon picked them up, you're like, this was the best thing that could happen to you guys, like getting off in the BBC.
It's not only that. It's like Clarkson gets fired and James May and Richard Hammond just go, you know what? We quit. We stick by him. He's our brother. We're sticking by him. And then Amazon's gone, Jeff Bezos come up and gone, money. And hello. Now they're... And when it first came out,
it was the perfect scenario. You had like the Top Gear guys being like, we've got all this content and nowhere to put it. And Amazon being like, we've got this place for content and nothing on there.
You can take it.
If you'd like money, you can do this.
But that was the best thing about it. It's like you've got, with the Grand Tour, when it first came out on Amazon, I was a little bit hesitant. I'm like, wow, what are they going to change here? These things are going to be different. It's not going to be the same. It was exactly the same, except they didn't restrict what Clarkson said because he wasn't under the BBC banner. He was through a streaming service, so he got away with saying a lot more. They could swear, which was awesome, and everything about it was wicked. But I mean, then I think they did 3 seasons of that. Then now they just do sort of your main things. They don't do the show anymore. It's just like one drops of travel that they do and get up to nonsense. I mean, his other show on Amazon. Have you watched that yet? Clarksons Fun?
No. I watched a little bit of it. Mate, finish it.
It is so good. And that got okayed for a second season, so I'm pumped for that
There's too many things out there. Let's just pump the brakes a little bit.
No pumping. Give us more.
Not in the same weeks is my issue.
No,
because there's some weeks where like there's nothing to watch.
And I mean, dropping something on a Wednesday, Amazon, come on, that's Disney's day. Don't steal it.
Yeah, Amazon was always Friday with the boys and stuff.
To be honest though, I'd choose this.
What, Wednesday?
Over Disney stuff. For me personally, I would choose the Grand Tour over Disney stuff.
Definitely lost me. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk movie news, man. Let's do it. So you just said before about Clarkson being silenced. Someone who hasn't been silenced and is out there talking is J.K. Simmons.
I thought that's where you were going.
He's jumping around franchises, forgetting who he is, where he's talking and everything. And has just been talking about how excited he is to play Commissioner Gordon again. He goes, I was so excited to get the call to play Commissioner Gordon again. We get to do a different take on him, a slightly different take on him. It's great to be back in there again, filming with Ben. And everyone was like, what? And he's shifted and changed and started talking about something else. And we're like, we heard you, man. We heard you say Ben.
I was going to say.
Definitely said Ben.
I called it.
Yeah,
Batman has to be in Batgirl. He has to be. There's no way around that. You can't dance around that. Yeah. He needs to be there.
And we know it can't be Patterson's Batman because that ain't the Jim Gordon we know.
No, because Jim Gordon in Patterson's Batman is... Oh, what's his name?
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, that's right. That's right. Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright. So, yeah, it's the way it's got to go.
It's amazing.
Pretty excited for that.
Batfleck's coming back.
Oh,
that's what I said to you when you posted that in the chat. I had the biggest smile on my face when you posted that. Like, how do I like this more than once?
Yeah.
Not only are we getting him in the Flash movie, he's now going to be TV as well, which means give us the Batman movie we want.
We want Deathstroke pulling him apart. Just do it.
That's what we want. I want Manganiello just ripping him.
That involved Zack Snyder. Little tease from Zack Snyder on his Instagram or Vimeo. I don't know. On his is it Venmo? Sorry. Whatever that one is. Anyway, Zack Snyder's social media of choice did a Thanksgiving post where he's got a picture of the turkey and everything. Says Happy Thanksgiving Day. But behind the turkey is a book. And that book was Final Crisis. What are you doing, Snyder?
He's doing what he does best. Crumbs.
Because 2 days ago, he also posted, he also posted a picture of a slate. Just a random slate.
Darkseid. Was that Darkseid and... What's his name?
the scene
Desaad,
was.
wasn't it?
Someone's looked it up. I think so. Yeah.
I think it was Darkseid and Desaad.
Either way, it was a slate from his Justice League Snyder cut. What's he doing?
People
trying
were
to get-
saying, I don't think this is all the same sort of stuff that happened with the Snyder cut. Remember?
Yeah.
And then we got the Snyder cut. I mean, this
But
has
is what
happened before.
I'm like, is he trying to like get backing?
Well,
Like trying to make sure everyone's still out there getting excited about it, or is he actually doing stuff? Like,
you got to look at it
actually,
this
sorry,
way.
man. I do want to. I want to stop you there for a second, just so everyone knows we're on the same page. Final Crisis is essentially Darkseid dismantling the Justice League.
Yes.
Like that's Final Crisis.
Yes.
Lois is injured in I think it was the Daily Bugle explosion.
Which is basically
And-
where he was going with his story anyway.
Yeah, Superman flies to the future to find a cure.
I don't think there'll
I
be
think
that because
he takes out Wonder Woman with, I think he uses Mary Marvel, and she infects Wonder Woman with something in Bloodhaven from memory.
good old Bloodhaven.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff. Like obviously all the characters are in it. Just to throw the little like connection tissue out there, it all starts from Martian Manhunter.
Yep.
Who's warning everyone. Which is kind of where obviously Zack Snyder filmed that last scene in his driveway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Martian Manhunter, which is supposed to be a Green Lantern apparently.
What? No.
I thought that was originally supposed to be a Green Lantern.
I think it was Martian Manhunter and Lantern showing up at the same time.
Oh, okay, right.
But there was so many things. I know Martian Manhunter was meant to be in it the whole time, but then I think they tried to add Green Lantern in last. Zach was trying to throw it in last minute to just as he was going to be in it, he wasn't going to be in it, he was going to be in it, he wasn't going to be in it, and then it's sort of he's like, we'll shoot it and we'll see what happens. And it would have been amazing if it worked, but
Warner said no, didn't they?
Warner Brothers, being Warner Brothers, shut it down, and I don't know why. I don't.
Oh, look, I don't know
Whatever.
why Warner Brothers does things they do. Speaking of things that they do that we don't understand, they've censored Birds of Prey on their streaming. They've done like a censored version of it.
Well, didn't
the things
Deadpool
they-
essentially do the same thing though? Deadpool just wrote a whole new
No.
movie, basically.
Yeah. If they had done that, I'd have been fine with it.
No, because it just
I
would have been
don't
Harley
understand
talking about
the need
her
for
sandwich
this.
the whole time.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Or
Like,
talking
you
to
can't-
her sandwich.
See, Deadpool, they did it very smart how they did that.
Oh man, have you actually seen that yet?
And
Or
yet,
have you just
no,
seen little clips of it?
I've seen bits of it. I haven't watched that. I don't see the point.
It's good. It's good.
But
like, no. See, here's the thing. Like, you've watched movies multiple times, right? So when it comes to the time where you're like, oh, I might watch Deadpool 2 again, watch that one instead.
no, but I want to watch
Because-
Deadpool too.
Yeah, but it's like watching a director's cut, essentially. You're getting all these additional scenes
Yeah,
in there, and it's just watching Ryan Reynolds just playing with the character.
just riff. Speaking of that, did you see the bloopers that got released to YouTube for Red Notice?
No.
Oh,
I haven't seen
so
Red Notice yet.
you need to watch it.
Do I?
Get a bowl of popcorn, sit down, smash it out. It's good. It is
Dude,
funny.
I'm still
It's
trying to
very
get
funny.
through Lost in Space before next week.
Mate, the bloopers for it are so good because, as you know, Ryan didn't produce this, so
He was just playing.
he just was sandbox going nuts, going, I don't care how much time and money I waste on film, let's go hard. And he's cracking The Rock up so much. You see The Rock, like, as professional as The Rock is, he breaks so many times.
Can Gal Gadot hold her own?
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean? From not cracking?
Like, but
Or with
also,
those
like,
guys?
with them like giving it back, like because I
Oh
think
no,
The
she's
Rock would play
she's
with
very good.
yeah.
She is very good in it. Very, very good. They're all three of them are on par.
Oh,
Like
wow.
they're all, it's a very good movie.
Yeah, because her comedy's decent. Like I remember that movie. Was it Keeping Up with the Joneses?
What's that ring a
She was
bell?
in that. I'm pretty sure. With I think John Hamm. She plays a spy with John Hamm, and somehow Zach Galifianakis and what's her name? Oh my god, it's gone top of my head. Sacha Baron Cohen's wife.
Isla Fisher.
Isla Fisher. Sorry, Isla Fisher.
How dare you? That's
is in it as
Australian
well.
royalty right there. How dare you?
I know, Perth royalty.
You disgust me right now.
I had her I had her face in my head.
I was going to say,
and I'm
you
like,
pictured her face and everything, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was it
I
the
was
We
thinking
Fit
of
ad
her.
or whatever it is?
I don't know. I just got
It's always
distracted.
popping up on YouTube now. Her doing aerobics in her lounge room.
Anyway, yeah, she was good in that. Keeping Up with the Joneses, I remember. Really good comedy. Anyway, what else do we have here? We talked. Apparently, that was us talking about Birds of Prey getting censored.
Yes. Hey, we
There
went
was-
off track like that movie went off track, so that's fine.
Oh man, that movie.
They killed off
Gosh, but
Black
anyway,
Mask. Let's
apparently we're
just
getting-
revel in that for a little bit, you idiots.
He was so good.
He was the best.
Oh,
I want to go. I actually want to see. I haven't had any urge to watch that movie again, but now I just want to go through and just fast forward and get to all Ewan McGregor's bits.
I don't know if I could do it. I wonder if there's like a YouTube supercut of his like. Just
Oh,
his
there'd have to be.
scenes.
Just type in live action Black Mask and it'll show up. And Victor
Yeah,
Zsasz,
you're-
because he was wicked too.
Ewan McGregor absolutely chewing scenery as Black Mask.
Yes,
Um,
but not Black Mask.
some more DC news we have here is that Shazam's Levi. Sorry, just had dogs walk in and ask me what I'm doing.
That's fine.
guys. Thanks.
Old Zachary
So,
Levi, yes.
Zachary Levi auditioned for Guardians of the Galaxy and completely flopped it. Apparently,
Good. I'm as glad as he is that he flopped it.
yeah, he's a good Shazam.
He's a wicked Shazam.
Look, I think he would have been an okay Star Lord.
I think he would have been a very good Star-Lord, to be honest.
I don't see anything wrong with him being a Star Lord.
No.
The second choice for Star Lord though was Dennis from It's Always Sunny, and that's always something in my head that I've been like, oh, he would have been interesting. Like it definitely.
I don't know.
would
I
have been a
haven't seen the
different
show,
take.
so I don't even know who you're talking about.
I'll try and find a send it to you, man. If you want to talk about the next piece of news we have there, which is
Mr.
Jason
Keanu.
Momoa.
Oh, you want to go
Jason
Momoa?
Go on, you do it.
We've had a friend of the show, Mr. Ryan
Friend of the
Unico,
show.
has come
Yeah.
out and released a few bits, little bits of footage that comicbook.com's ran with of Momoa in the face paint playing the Crow.
Screen testing for the Crow.
Mate, the face looks good. The face looks good. He's too big.
He's a big man.
He's too big.
Yeah.
I
gotta be honest, man.
you
I
need
don't
slender,
know enough
fit.
about the Crow.
haven't
I-
watched. I think I've seen them all, to be honest. I've seen them all, but I don't remember them because I was very young. Well, not very young, but I was a lot younger, and it sort of was just a movie that I watched. I didn't care about the behind the scenes of it and all that sort of stuff, and I probably should go back and watch the Brandon Lee ones. One. Two. There was two, wasn't there?
I think so, yeah.
I think the first one he did, and he died. Did he die on the set of the second one?
I think
And then
so,
they
yeah.
made up the footage of how they could, I think.
I wonder if that's one of the first times they've done that.
I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, Momoa looks amazing in the makeup. Amazing.
Yeah, he looked really good.
But he's
Someone
just
else that
too
looks
big.
good. I've just sent you pictures of Glenn Howerton. He's the one that plays Dennis in It's Always Sunny. Have you ever seen any It's Always Sunny?
No, never. Okay, that's a lie. I've seen footage, but
Like scrolling through YouTube, something.
yeah, it's not my show. It's not my style of comedy.
Yeah. All right, I got you. It's kind of
No, he's not Star-Lord. I don't see that at all. Get out of here.
apparently he was James Gunn's like biggest choice.
No.
And pushed so hard for him.
I can see why they said no.
No, I would have liked it. Like, because
he doesn't look like he doesn't look like a Star-Lord at all.
No, look, what I want to kind of break here is that the Star-Lord we got in Guardians of the Galaxy that Chris Pratt played wasn't who Star-Lord was in the comics before that. What Chris Pratt did with it has influenced who Star-Lord has become in animation and comics since then.
Well, it's exactly the same as RDJ for Iron Man.
A little. Yeah.
He wasn't that eccentric or flamboyant.
Because he was
flamboyant is the word I'm looking for.
He was usually drunk. So he was pretty out there. But like Star-Lord was a lot more serious and less of a joke that Chris Pratt made him into. You know? There's a really cool, like, when Star-Lord actually meets the Avengers in the comics, he's like, you guys are an absolute joke. Like, we're protecting the entire galaxy. And
yeah,
just
right.
Watch your world kind of thing. We protect your world without you even realizing it.
Yeah.
Like, he's very serious about what he does.
Sort of like how Captain Marvel showed up and says there's a lot more
Yeah.
people out there that need help other than just here.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very good line from her in that. That was very,
And
very
it was a good reason to take her off the board.
Just shut up. You worry about your little planet. I'll worry about everything. Around it.
And then have her come back and just completely fly through.
They're shooting at something.
That was great. We've had something enter the upper atmosphere. That was amazing. That was such a good scene. Followed by the terrible scene of...
Oh yes, we know where you're going. No, someone said it was a TikTok I was watching. What if Endgame was more like this, and instead of Captain Marvel coming in, it was Master Chief from Halo just coming through and destroying everything. It was like, oh, that's great. That's what we wanted. That would have been amazing.
I think the problem with Master Chief is that he wouldn't stop at the bad guys. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't think twice. He'd see Groot and be like, oh, kill it. See Rocket and be like, oh, kill it.
You know what I mean? Everything.
Everything that's
Come here,
like
Drax.
Not human looking.
He's going after it.
Would be gone. You know, he's like the Hulk, yeah.
Well, no, because he's worked with aliens. He has a lot of. There's actually, I can't remember who it is. It's an alien that's a bad guy. Was a bad guy. Came against Master Chief. They both sort of fought, and then they were both immovable objects, so they sort of just had to stop. And then out of that, they grew respect for each other. So it all sort of
from before.
Went from there.
Look, do you reckon he would have had time to ask those questions, or?
I think he would. Master Chief knows situations very, very well. He would have gone, okay, well, use the bad guys, use the good guys. I can see you both running at each other. I'm a fight with
He's
this
like,
guy
I see
who's
you running at you. Now, I believe Thanos is right, so I'm going to be on this side.
And I'm just kill everyone.
Things would get messy.
Just pulls Cap's head off.
So that's the Amazon series we're looking forward to, Halo, right? It was Amazon,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Paramount Plus.
Paramount. That's right. That's what made you get Paramount Plus.
That's why I got Paramount Plus. The day I got it straight after I sent you through my details.
Yeah.
Straight away. Did you have a look?
No, I haven't logged in yet.
Mate, Nickelodeon on there. So many old shows.
Mate, I mean, it looks like I'm probably just going to cancel Foxtel soon.
I would. I just run my Paramount Plus. Just run that.
Oh, man. I'm going to ask you about that later too, actually. Let's keep going to the news. We've got a picture of Miss Marvel, speaking of Captain Marvel before, from the Marvels movie they're doing. So this is one that's going to have Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Spectre in it as well, Spectrum. The new costume looks pretty cool.
She looks good.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this show. I am so excited. And it's from the game that sucked. The sucky game
No,
but they did her so well, and I'm like, oh shit, that's amazing.
They did this. The writing in that game was good.
Yeah, the game just sucks.
The story in that game was good. The development in that game was terrible.
I tell you what, I'm looking forward to Wolverine though. I want that game to hurry up and get here now.
Yeah, looks good.
I want to play the shit out of that game.
2 years you got to wait for that, eh?
Oh, I'm sad.
Sorry, man. Look, speaking of stuff we're going to wait for, No Way Home is coming. It's coming. It's coming soon. Everyone was dissecting that trailer, and we saw two goblins in that trailer. We saw the goblin that we see from Sam Raimi's, and then we got another one where he's just wearing a hood and goggles, and everyone started speculating, is that Harry Osborn? We've got a better look at him
James
now.
Franco got cancelled.
We've got a
so
better
no,
look at
it's
him
not
now.
him.
And I mean, it could have been the Dan. What was his name? The one that played him in
Oh,
New
yeah.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
What was his name? Dan? I can't
I
remember
don't
his last name.
remember.
Sorry.
He was
Anyway.
wasn't he in Upgrade? Was that him in Upgrade? Or
It
am I
might
just
have been,
getting
yeah.
two people confused here?
He was in, I think, Chronicle. He was in Chronicle, wasn't he?
I don't know.
The superhero one that old mate did before Fantastic Four, James Trank.
Old mate.
Old mate. Yeah, friend of the show, Josh Trank. Anyway, the updated one, and we have had concept art and everything of this kind of, where they're trying to make the Goblin more like the Goblin from the comics, so having the satchel and everything like that. But this does look like Willem Dafoe in a hoodie and goggles, essentially.
I thought it was going to be what's his name.
I'm awesome with. I think one of the hard, like, I loved Sam Raimi's Spider-Mans, like they were incredible, but the amount of character I think you lose staring at a helmet that doesn't move, like a full face helmet, that doesn't move. And he did amazing things with it, being able to like when he looms over Aunt May and you see her reflection in his eyes.
Yeah, yep.
You know, which is really cool because remember she's in the hospital later on screaming, "Those yellow eyes, those horrible yellow eyes."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They weren't actually yellow at that stage. They shot that scene first, and she was just told to like scream about things.
Dane DeHaan was his name.
Yeah,
Dane DeHaan.
And she started screaming about yellow eyes, and they were like, "Oh man, we got to make these eyes yellow because this takes really good." So they hadn't actually had yellow eyes in the concept or anything. It's just what the Aunt May ran with. Anyway, looking like we're going to get an updated Goblin, and I'm excited to see that. Speaking of costumes, though, because that seems to be the thread we're on right now, people are surprised that the Eternals had CGI costumes.
I was not at all, because
No.
of the fact that this chick was a massive fan of Snyder, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but also, like, in the actual movie, you see the costumes get created.
What they're talking about is when Thena is in her costume, the whole thing is CGI from neck to toe. The whole thing.
Could you tell?
None of it is real.
I couldn't tell.
None of it is real. That's what's amazing about it.
But I'll be
I think
honest,
that's
I
what's
wasn't
blowing
looking
people away.
at
You
Thena's
thought she was
costume.
actually wearing a white costume, but she wasn't.
I was looking at Thena's face, being like, "How are you this pretty still?"
In the words of Ned Flanders, it was like she was wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
It would be amazing watching them do those scenes in, like, you know, the green screen dots and stuff instead of the actual suits, and be like, "Look at you guys, how are you taking each other serious? You're in pajamas."
I feel like it would still take nothing away from Angelina Jolie.
Oh no,
Nothing at
I'm
all.
gonna look. All the actors in that were great, except Kit Harington. Anyway, speaking of
He
great actors,
wasn't that bad. You got Jon Snow in your mind. He wasn't that bad.
I read something about him doing that end credit scene. Look, I'm going to talk about it right now. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. With the whole Blade thing and him not.
You've had
they
enough.
didn't know that was. They didn't know that was going to be Blade's voice. Like, he didn't know that was Mahershala Ali.
Oh, wow.
When he did it. But the thing that I... Like, the way he approached it... You know how I said it was an interesting choice for him to... How he was going to pick up the blade? He, like, went to do it, then he walked away and shook himself off. Was like, no. And then he went back for it.
Yeah.
He was apparently treating it like an addiction.
Ah, okay. He didn't want to get back in there again.
So I didn't realize he'd already done it before or knew the gravity of it.
Well, it makes sense why Blade showed up.
Yeah. You know? Because obviously
what does Blade say to him?
Are you sure you're ready for that?
That's right. Are you sure you're ready for it? So he's dealt with him before. And Blade's not going to show up for no one.
Well, Blade's dealt with the Blade before.
That could
I wonder how old they're making Blade. Like how long he's been around for.
A few years.
You know what I mean?
Just a couple of years. Probably a decade.
Anyway. Look, last bit of news here we've got.
Well, it all depends. Hang on that. It all depends though. Because could it have been the first snap that has... Because it got released that energy, remember, which could have now given mutants, vampires, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Or have the vampires always been there?
I think the vampires were already there.
And we just didn't know.
We had vampires mentioned in, I think, a movie previous to the snap.
Did we?
Someone's like, yeah, but I think Summers was like, oh, it's the first time we mentioned vampires. It's been a while. There was something to do with it. I can't remember what it was now.
We need to look that up.
Yeah, there's been a vampire reference in there. It's just like how Far From Home. Remember, you had that science teacher talking about witches for ages?
Yeah, witches.
And then we got Wanda. And you realised that Far From Home is actually set after WandaVision.
Yeah.
So he's become obsessed with witches because witches took over a whole town and he heard about it.
Is that Far From Home after WandaVision?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the timeline that they established.
Now my head hurts. Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah. Because you got to remember. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to break this down just in case anyone else didn't. No, stop. You're arguing with the wrong person here. I'm going to explain it to you. She walks into that building right after Endgame. She walks into the plot where the house was supposed to be built. Right after Endgame, right after the funeral. Remember?
To get his
funeral
body
scene
back.
Happens.
Are you talking about when she's busting into the secure building to get Vision's body?
Yeah, and then she goes to that plot where they were going to build a house and life together. And that's where everything breaks out from.
So the end credit scene is a lot
after Endgame.
Yeah, so that end credit where you hear her hear the kids, there's a lot of time.
She's in been between. In this Wendigo or whatever it is.
Because you could almost do that whole thing. Like, you would have Doctor Strange when he does the spell. That's the bit now that He Who Remains can't see past because Doctor Strange has done that spell that's opened the multiverse.
And she's just doing something in a cabin and suddenly hears her kids'
voices from a different universe come through.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Venom scene.
Yeah.
Added in as well to that at the same time. I really hope Marvel...
No. Remember, that can't be right.
It has to be.
No. Because then it means that another person's theory is messed up. Remember that thing we saw about how the He Who Remains scene and the moment that Wanda becomes the Scarlet Witch scene, they tied up perfectly?
No. But see, that was wrong. I never believed in that. What I believe in is when you see the multiverses split, when He Who Remains, you see it out his back window and they're all starting to branch. That's because Strange has done that thing. The time that WandaVision locks in is when she hears her kids. That's when the multiverse is open. That's the only way to explain that. Otherwise, she would have already known. It's got nothing to do with her becoming the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
People are jumping too far back for that. It has to be.
It was just that,
but
kids. It's. I gotta give that person props. That sunk up so well.
Yeah, but it was wrong.
Yeah. But like we said, so we've got the Venom end credit scene at the same time,
that's when that happens as well.
Mm.
You got Falcon and the Winter Soldier just doing whatever they're doing. They don't even care.
So back to the original point, like I said, so Far From Home is after WandaVision because everyone's mourning the loss of Tony Stark for a while.
Yeah, it's in between. It's in between the end of WandaVision and the end credit scene for WandaVision.
Yep,
is where it happens.
But this whole town's been taken over, and this science teacher's like, "Man, witches are messed up."
Yeah,
and now he's obsessed with witches.
And I mean, then you have Bucky, not Bucky. Sam say it's either what does he say? Witches, wizards.
Oh, it's wizards, aliens, or cyborgs. I think androids.
Androids.
It was covered Ultron.
The three bigs.
The big three, yeah. Where you find out that Bucky read the original Tolkien series back when it was written. I love that. That was so good.
It was around when he was a kid.
Oh, amazing. What else do you have here? Oh, Janie Dornan roles. The internet has gone a bit big on roles in the MCU they want Jamie Dornan play. Now, we played around with this a bit.
That's right, we did. And that's why I shared this into the group, because I'm like, you know what? This sort of, it helps us out a little bit. And there's I think all of these we never even spoke about. We spoke about other characters.
Well, we wouldn't have given Daredevil a thought.
Wouldn't have even thought that because that's Charlie's. He's there. It's done. Well, I don't even know why they would have wrote this in that article because it's just downright
Cyclops
stupid.
I like.
I love that idea.
I really like the idea of Cyclops.
And he looks like Scott Summers.
Captain Britain's cast. Henry Cavill's
That's
doing
Henry Cavill. We've already cast that. That's fine. Now, Johnny Blaze.
I don't like that.
I could see it.
I think he's too pretty.
You don't think he's grungy enough?
No, I do like the next one, though. I think Gambit would be amazing.
That would be, but isn't Channing Tatum... Or is he still attached somehow?
I never liked Channing Tatum as Gambit. I'm sorry.
Would you cast Channing Tatum in the MCU at all?
Yeah, definitely. Not as Gambit though. Oh, I don't know.
Who would you give him?
Oh,
as a quick drop. Remember, he's a big dude.
No. I see. All right. There's a guy called A-Bomb, right? Who he's a Hulk. He was the Hulk's Bruce Banner's friend, who ended up becoming a Hulk as well, but he becomes like this blue Hulk that kind of rolls into a bowl and stuff. But he's like obsessed with trying to be a celebrity as well. Yep. So he's trying to start like a web series about it and everything like that. Look, that might be a deep cut there, but I think A-Bomb would be an amazing character for Channing Tatum to play. I think he's got the comedic chops for it. He's kind of got like a Booster Gold element to him.
Oh,
where he does like pieces to camera by himself and stuff like that. I think Channing Tatum could do that really well.
Yeah.
For people who want to know who he is, he's really big in a cartoon series that they did for the Hulk, which was really good because it kind of centered around him as the main character. Yeah. And he did like a lot of those Big Brother style. Like he set up these cameras to follow the team around. It was A-Bomb, the Hulk, Red Hulk, and She-Hulk all on the team together, and Scar. And they were just like being manipulated by the Thinker and stuff. It was really good. Not the Thinker, sorry. The Leader. Yeah. It was a really good series. But A-Bomb is who I'd go for Channing Tatum.
All right,
I think he was always too big to play Gambit.
I think he is too. You need a more wiry frame. Someone who can move, like you believe.
And Channing Tatum can move.
I know, but more like Tai Chi. Like a Tai Chi style sort of.
I don't want to believe that Gambit could break someone.
Yeah, and he needs to be smooth.
He's a rat. He's a street rat.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum doesn't look like he's ever skipped a meal in his life.
He hasn't.
And not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
He hasn't.
But yeah.
But anyway, people who have been cast or not cast, what do you think of Mr. Reeves, Keanu, coming back as Constantine? What are your thoughts there, mate? What are your thoughts? Keep in mind, you could be about to slander the nicest guy in Hollywood.
No, because of the multiverse, I think it works. He's already done it. You can bring him back. Heck, Jonah Hex, Josh Brolin can come back now. You know?
He'll never do Jonah Hex again. For some reason, that has left a bad taste in people's mouths the same way as Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. And I don't know why.
I didn't think it was that bad.
He seems to think so.
Was Megan Fox in that as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
Yes, she was. I don't know why. I thought it was good.
Guys, Keanu's got plans, though. I just want to put this out there. There was a rumor, I think, last year of him meeting with Kevin Feige.
And someone brought it back up again.
Now he's out here talking about, I'd love to do Constantine again. He's like, I'd love to do something. He said it. He goes, I want to do something in the MCU. I think what they're doing is amazing. I want to be part of it.
Did they miss their massive chance at Adam? And you just have it as Keanu Reeves?
The perfect human. No, look, I'm really more on board with, like, every day I see what they're doing with Guardians. He looks good. Like, he's looking good.
I don't know. I'll wait.
I'm happy with it.
But who? Okay, well then, who would you cast Keanu as in the MCU? You're the big Marvel man. Who you got him as?
No.
Obviously, DC's already got him as Constantine, so I'm covered.
All right, so there's this guy called Simon Williams.
What does that name ring a bell?
Wonder Man. Sorry, Wonder.
I think we've spoken about him before.
We have spoken about him before because he is an actor who's also a superhero in a sense.
So Brewster Gold.
No, because he's got these amazing cosmic powers. Like, he really backs it up. Like, he's very powerful.
Okay.
They tried to get Nathan Fillion to play him.
Like Brewster Gold.
They did these mock-up posters in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
That's right. That's why we've spoken about. Yes, that's why we've spoken about him.
I think Keanu could do a good job.
All right, I'm going to throw one at you that's just popped into my head, and I can't believe I'm even going to say this. What about Reed Richards?
I don't like it.
Now, you know how much I love John Krasinski as Reed Richards because I think that's a perfect cast of perfect casting, but I think Keanu could do it, and he would look like Reed Richards. He has the scruffy beard. Leave him with the John Wick scruff beard. Cut his hair short.
I think he's...
Give him the silver strips.
I don't want to do this, guys. And I think Keanu's getting a bit old. And
he's immortal. What are you talking about?
Who can be around for a while.
Or do you think now that everyone's caught on that Keanu's immortal, he's gone, oh no, we need to age quickly now?
I feel like he has.
He's gone, no, we need to age quick. Go, catch up.
Like, that beard is hiding so much as well. Like, when he shaved Bill and Ted.
It wasn't good.
No.
That's why I'm growing my beard out too.
I've learned from Keanu as well. I'm not shaving, man. Got like fortunes under here now. You don't know. Anyway, I think that's everything, man. I think that's everything we're going to cover today. I'm happy with it.
Looking at the list, yeah.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for joining us for another week of pop culture news and reviews. Stick around if you want, if you've watched it, for our water cooler for the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye, because they both dropped on the same day. And like I said, next week we have 3 episodes of Lost in Space we'll be covering.
Yep.
We have obviously Hawkeye we're covering, so that's your thing. Don't worry about absolutely smashing through Lost in Space, because we won't be covering anything past episode 3 in spoilers wise. That's if you rely on us to get all your news. If not, then smash through it and you can listen to our theories about what's going to happen and be like, oh man, you guys are so wrong.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.